won't let anyone sneak in. Not on my watch.
So, Reverse 1999. I only played 3 different gacha games as of the current moment, those being Blue Archive, Reverse 1999 and Goddess of Victory Nikkei. Keeping up with the big games, I have not for a bit cause I have no idea what some of those guys are doing right now. I need to head back and see what's going on. But Reverse 1999, I want to talk about it today for a bit. I have seen many different videos talking about gacha games in general and Hoyover's titles, but you don't get to see many Reverse 1999 videos. So I thought like, maybe I can just make one and give what I feel about the game, why I like the game, and why I would recommend it now. Reverse 1999 is one of those games that is surprisingly popular while flying under the radar at the same time. You might be asking, if you say the game is pretty well known, why aren't more people talking about Reverse 1999? And my answer to you is, yes, it is popular in China, not the West. If you were to compare the engagement from the Chinese audience to the global audience, you will see a big, and when I say big, I mean massive difference in popularity. But putting all that aside, I just want more people to try it. Before I started playing, I discovered this game through a sponsored ad read from Gigok. At first, I didn't know what this game was, and I wouldn't check it out until much later on, which was unfortunate for me because I missed 37's banner as a result. And I still haven't been spooked by this mathematical menace. It wasn't until the new year of 2025 that this game came back onto my radar, when I ran into a previous trailer for version 1.4 on YouTube, and several main chapters were already out at that point. My elder sister had just given birth recently. I was in the hospital perusing the internet with the hospital's private Wi-Fi. Don't ask me how I got the password, so I'm just like, okay, why not? So I downloaded it, right there, on my phone, at 12.5 gigabytes, and it took an hour too, but I have no regrets. I like this game. But if you don't know what Reverse 1999 is about, a brief summary I can give you. So there's a phenomenon in the world called the storm. It reverses time. It also has this great song about it.
The arcane.
Heard this theme from one of the trailers and I just had to look it up. Does anybody know what genre this song actually is? So the storm sends the world to any random period in the past, and obviously that's very bad. If you get caught in it, you're cooked, you're done, you're noodles. But our protagonist Vertin, first of all, I love that name, sounds unique, is the only individual known to be immune to this. She can just straight up exist in what's cooking people left and right, and basically she's trying to figure out why the storm is happening, what even is this thing, and a way to stop it. And that's the basic gist of it. It's essentially just a visual novel with combat in it. But the very fact that R99 is a visual novel is already enough to make people look away from it, regardless of how high quality it might be. And this game is very high in quality. And the writing is good too, definitely better than whatever the big games are doing right now. The event stories are way different. Essentially, they are little standalone stories and can be super random, like when did this become a horror game random.
Someone is passing messages to us through these notes.
Oh, look at that, suddenly we're in India. This game event stories bounce all over the place, and to be honest, I actually like it. And the best part is that events are dropped into the events archive. It becomes permanent, so you don't have to worry about what you've missed. A great feature that certain games could really use. Reverse 1999 stories are very immersive and carries some of the best voice acting in the medium. I've mentioned that the game jumps around locations very frequently, so not only do characters have their own accents, they also occasionally speak in their own native tongues, which gives me the feeling that all these characters actually belong somewhere inside this world. You have your Noah, your Anand Lee, your Schneider, your Beryl. These are just some of the numerous characters who occasionally mix their own native language into their lines, including the battle lines. There's also Matilda, who does this a lot, and she's French, and also the daughter of Beryl. That's right, we have a playable mother character. That I can think of, there are only a handful of these games out there that do this, and I wish more of them would. This type of immersion only exists in the English dub to my knowledge. If you were to switch to any other dub, that be in Japanese, Korean or Chinese, you wouldn't get this. Unlike other gacha games, R99 was developed with the English version as its primary point of focus. Yes, for you Wii purists out there, the game was designed with the English as the initial language choice. English is considered the intended voice language for Reverse 1999. Even in China. Despite Vertin being the main character of the story, She isn't always present in the event stories, and that's fine. If she's got nothing to do with it, leave her out of it. The reason I bring this up is because the perspective of the story comes from multiple different places, not just wherever Vertin happens to be looking. We get to see what other characters are doing. We get to experience events from their point of view, because they are part of the world too. They don't simply stop existing the moment the main character looks away, because they are part of the world too. In fact, the entirety of the chapter 4 is largely carried by her friends, while they wait for her to wake up from the artificial somnambulism, a narrative system the bigger games could certainly use. Many content creators who cover gacha games prefer more open titles like Wuthering Waves or Genshin Impact, rather than more closed experiences like Reverse 1999 or Limbus Company. And honestly, that's understandable. It's easier to make content on those kinds of games, knowing that there's not much you can really do on a closed world environment. Another reason people might not try the game might be the gameplay. Some might say the combat isn't their style or just the combat is boring. Hey, you do you, man. I'm not gonna tell you what type of gameplay you should like. I personally find that the combat doesn't take much to understand and come to grips with, which again makes the game less of a hassle to keep up with for busy people like myself. Another reason can be that since it's a visual novel, you will be reading a lot. But let's be honest, if you're playing gacha games, you're probably already doing that anyway. Let's talk about character designs. R99 knows how to make characters, alright? Even the NPCs. The characters are likable and unique from one another. Even the child characters. Take Ulu for example, who's literally fire. A character like Flutterpage could easily be in someone's top 10 list. This is a game where any character could fit into anyone's favorite list. Unlike many other gacha games where this list usually heavily favors specific characters. Also, the skins. We all know how much more money Genshin would make if it had more skins. And Honkai's Star Rail is somehow even worse. They only got like what, 2? One of those is for a character that Who in the World uses, because I don't know Nimrod is running Preservation March. R99 gets like 3 or 4 skins every patch. Every character gets an extra free skin by default. I think the most a skin has ever been in this game is 15 bucks, and those are the unique ones. So skins are cheap in this game. I've seen other gacha games make the skins $20, $40 and even $60. Boy sucking damn, I'm not buying that crap. And R99 gives out free skins also, while there are others in the battle passes. Nikke and many other smaller games also put skins in their battle passes. There's also the female to male ratio in this game, but that's no different from most gacha games. Gacha games have always heavily favored female characters. That knowledge is practically ancient at this point. Guys don't want to spend money on other guys. And Reverse 1999 doesn't try to hide the fact that the story is largely told from the perspective of the women. This is also why the main character is a girl by default, and you cannot change that. I also love that she speaks.
I am kind of attracted indeed.
Both she and Schneider are my favorite voices in this game.
The storm is about to fall. Who cares whether the shelter is the eve or the rubble?
Hold on, there's also Charlie,
Malapert,
and Anna and Lee, and regulars as well. You see what I mean? There's a lot of characters to like here.
I'm killing people, but nobody gives a damn.
Unlike most gacha games, Reverse 1999 actually has a proper in-universe reason for why it has so many female characters. Unlike certain other gacha games, but let's stay on topic here. I bring this up because I've spoken with people who criticize the female to male ratio, and I understand why you bring that criticism up when you're talking about games like Zenless Zone Zero or Wuthering Waves, but it's harder to make that argument against Reverse 1999, since it's been established from the very beginning to be that way. And I'm glad at the devs for making Vertin her own person. I'm not some half-baked self-insert who has memory loss or some nonsense like that.
Do you have any questions, Burton?
what is the storm, sir?
It's refreshing to see a main character with her own motivations, her own objectives, and an actual freaking backstory. The entire chapter 3 is her backstory essentially. We are seeing her grow and develop in real time as the story progresses, while also having her own personality. Wow, such a low bar to clear, and somehow I'm still impressed. Which is why Vertin easily became my favorite protagonist in these gacha games. It actually wasn't even that much of a competition. The fact that she already has her own voice and an actual personality already places her above 99% of the competition by default. That's how low the bar is. Such a huge difference from all the rest of her peers, who are constantly being glazed to high heaven for doing literally nothing. Also, some sources estimate that nearly 50% of the population who play Reverse 1999 are female. Surprising. It is considered a free-to-play friendly game. They give out free 6 stars like every big update. They can give up to 100 free pulls. They even give out free freaking battle passes, and almost every limited character eventually joins the standard banner after a few patches, meaning you can skip them and potentially lose a future 50-50 to them later on. The payday system sits at 70 summons, and there's no weapon gacha, which is a blessing. If you don't want to play Reverse 1999, that's perfectly fine, nobody's forcing you, but I do recommend at least trying it. At the end of the day, these games are free.
Whose heart is beating so loud?